Well, you're recording me too, so just
Yep.
in case it doesn't work, at least we
Just in
have
case it
some.
doesn't work, we at least got that.
Exactly.
All
This is
right.
this is uh this is incredibly delayed. This whole situation. It's been a while, I think. What, it's been like a month and a half now.
A month and a half.
It's been a while.
Been weird shit has
I
happened.
think yeah, I think we have plenty of excuses. I don't know yeah. As to why uh this is so delayed. So I just want to ask, how are you doing? How are you and your family doing? How's everyone around you doing?
Uh, I'm doing good. My family's doing good.
Hmm.
Everyone that I live with, luckily, God bless, has the ability to work from home and was advised to do so. So we have been.
Hmm.
Um, and I go outside every now and then to just kind of like stand outside and get like sunlight, like
Yeah,
kind of
I hear
like a
you.
tree.
I hear you. I mean, I feel like that most days we're gonna, after all this is over, we're gonna emerge from our caves like, I don't know, like cavemen or something. Like,
Oh yeah,
I'm looking at your beard right now. It's definitely a lot longer. I know mine
yeah.
is
Somebody
for
was
people
just
that
like,
can't see.
yeah. So somebody was on Twitter was just like, just to check, how's everyone? No one's seen their barber in like 2.5 weeks. How's everyone doing? I was just like, I gonna look like Tom Hanks in fucking Castaway. I'm gonna go like full,
Yeah.
yeah.
My wife actually saved me last night. She actually gave me a haircut because my barber, he's only doing house calls right now, and there's no way I'm having him come to the house regardless of, you know, what's going on. So like, she helped me out. We got some new clippers and she gave me a haircut. Not too bad, not too bad, pretty good.
Yeah, for first timer, not
Yeah,
bad.
first part. So I'm not like scraggly, but the beard is coming down, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're good here too. We're hunkered down. I think we started our work from home situation like towards the end of March. And it's been mandated, and she's been working from home for a while now, actually, a lot longer than I have. But yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. I'm an introvert,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, it's weird to say that I crave like outside human contact, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I get it. It's just I also identify as an introvert, and but like I was telling a friend of mine who was just like saying basically the same thing, that craving human interaction, and just like just because you're an introvert doesn't mean you don't want any human interaction. You just prefer it in lower doses, and they take in like when you hang out with people, it kind of drains you. So
Yeah.
you need some time to recharge by yourself. We're not getting any like actual one-on-one human interaction like in person, so it's starting to bug us out. I mean,
Yeah.
extrovert people must be losing their goddamn minds, but
Yeah. It really is. I mean, and the, like I ordered food today, by the way, right? From
right.
DoorDash. Guy came up to the porch. I literally had to mime through the window and like point down towards the floor of the porch and ask him to like leave it there so that he can go back to his car. Then I can open up the door and grab my food because it's come to that now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like this for the next couple months. It's very unfortunate, but we're not gonna dwell on this too much right now. Okay.
No, no, we are not.
We just want to put out this quick little PSA. Make sure everyone's doing okay. Hug a loved one. Get as much sun as you can. Don't stay indoors for too long.
A
Um,
loved one that you've
mhm.
already lived with, you get, I
Yeah,
mean, 6 feet of distance. So like
yeah.
air hug
Air hug,
a loved
right,
one.
right. And I hope and pray that we'll be out of this um soon. But
Yeah.
let's hope. Let's hope.
Yeah.
But we'd like to also welcome everybody to yet another episode of Sam and Ed's Totally Original Geek News Podcast. So
Woo!
we're gonna start this bad boy off, hit the ground running with our news of the month and a half. Starting with Marvel and DC's distributor to stop shipping new comic books.
Yes. Okay. So, as you may or may not know, Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Dark Horse Comics, Image Comics, Archie Comics, and a bunch of other comics are all distributed by one company, Diamond Distribution Comics.
So
Because
silly.
monopolies never ever cause problems.
Nobody was prepared for this.
Yeah. So on March 23rd, Diamond Distribution basically let out that they will not be shipping any new comics as of April 1st. And that's just because of the current event with the C word. We're not going to say the word because for some reason, people who use the word, they tend to get non-monetized, and we need money. So I'm just going to call it the C word throughout this entire series. But yeah, they're for some reason they are not. Well, obvious reasons they're not shipping comics. So because of that, we're without this past as of today, we are recording on a Friday. This past Wednesday was the first week with no actual new comics.
Yeah,
And
that was rough.
Yeah, and like this is freaking wild because comics survived through World War II. Comics survived through 9/11. I mean, had a delay, but comics all survived through this. This is like the first time I ever remember in like my comic book reading years that there's no new issues. The thing about this is also interesting is this: it's not just physical comics. Because I was thinking, okay, well, physical comics will come, and then we'll be good. I mean, well, physical comics will stop, but we still get digital comics. No, they're not releasing digital comics either. So we're not getting any versions of the comics that we're used to. I don't. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I didn't do our rundown of topics, but we're gonna get to something special for our closing discussion, which kind of relates to this a little bit. And even though they weren't doing digital releases now, I think the plan is in the near future to release comics digitally still via Comixology, right? I think Amazon is still planning to release, from what I heard. I'm not sure, but you tell me.
No. So what I've been reading is that the solution is to work with Comic Hub. This is
right.
There's this other service that I've honestly never heard of Comic Hub up until today, but from what I'm gathering is they're going to release comics through Comic Hub. You can buy them. You buy them through your local comic book store digitally. So it's almost like your local comic book store has its own digital storefront. You buy the comic that way, and the comic you will receive a physical comic
along with the digital.
Well, along with you get the digital first, but when the physical comic comes in, they'll either ship it to you or keep it for you.
Now, do you have any other details? Like, for instance, is there a minor price hike because of this?
From no one is saying anything about price hacks, but I will say that Image already came out and said that they will not be participating in the Comics Hub thing, which sucks. Right. I don't know in regards to what Comixology is doing. DC said that they're also taking they're going to be coming up with their own plan in the coming month and coming weeks, but I honestly don't know what the hell is going to go on. I'm pretty sure next Wednesday we're not going to have any comics either while they're still trying to figure everything out. But this is wild.
Yeah, it is wild. I mean, and this is a situation where different artists and writers have different methods of putting together their books and series. Whether you have artists painting digitally or doing it traditionally, or we're not sure exactly what the inner workings are nowadays, but depending on that, it could mean that we could be waiting, or we could be seeing digitized versions of only some comics.
That's
from
a good point.
Certain publishers. But what I was getting at before in terms of our closing discussion, this is one of those things that may change the way we take in media forever. But I won't go into it too much, but that's just how I feel about it.
No, this is definitely so I don't think this is gonna last in regards to there's no new issues of comics being distributed. Right. I think not unfortunately to me, because I prefer digital comics. To full disclosure, I prefer digital comics for individual issues. I prefer graphic novels, physical copies for collections, because I like to have my little library and have all my comics stacked up so I could see volume 1, volume 2, and all that stuff. Right. But I prefer digital for that. So I don't think this is going to last in regards to digital comics. I think they're going to come to some agreement and figure something out, and we're gonna have all the comic. We're gonna get all the new releases digitally only for some time. That's going to get a lot of people who were dragging their feet about going to digital
Right.
comics into digital comics. So when this all settles down, I don't know if those people are going to go back to physical comics,
Right.
which is going to suck for comic book stores.
It's gonna suck, but let's be real. I mean, the honest truth of it, Sam, is comic book stores have been around for pure resale and collection value. That's pretty much it. I mean, honestly, I got my Kindle and I download a digital book and I have it absolutely forever. You know, like I walk around with it. It's always with me. It's not in some closet someplace. It's not on eBay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's going to be a brutally um honest situation for these retailers, unfortunately.
technology
Timeline sped
is
up.
yeah,
That's
technology
what it is.
takes a lot of jobs, and this is one of those situations where because like I don't know how long are artists and like publish how long are artists and writers and all the people who contribute to making comics going to sit without money when they have a viable option right there. Unfortunately, that
Right.
just fucks over one part of their things. Now, a lot of people are loyal to their comic book shops. We know like some of our famous writers like Rob Liefeld, they're doing stuff where they're like raising money for the local comic book shops. And like I would love to see an option like Comic Hub, like they're doing in regards to buying physical, like buying digital and getting a physical copy from it, and
That's
you
great.
buying from in local stores. That's great. I don't know if it's going to be enough though. I would, if to in my own support thing, I will. You see, that's the thing. My local comic book shop, the one I used to go to, I that one
Yeah.
shut closed down like I want to say 3 years ago. So
Yeah.
I if I buy a physical comic now, I go to Midtown. So
So if you had to put your life savings on it by the end of all of this, let's say September, right?
mhm.
Are we ever going to see physical copies again by that time?
Yes, I think so. I think
Okay.
we're still
Okay.
they're gonna still distribute like it's for the purists. For
Yeah.
the purest people, they're
Right.
gonna want physical copies of
Yeah.
digital comics, and like it's something about like I buy books.
Yeah.
Like I could read books. Like I. It's a weird thing I do, but I buy the Kindle. Like I'll buy like the Kindle or the Nook version of a book, and then I'll also buy the physical book, so I can read
Right.
it physically and I can read it digitally. I like the feel of books. I like the feel of turning pages when I read a book. Same thing's gonna happen with comic books. People just love the feel of turning it and seeing it in that format. So I don't think physical comics are gonna go anywhere. I just think digital comics are gonna get a very large, is gonna get a larger audience than they had before.
And real quick for the people, what day again did you say this was going to start for Comic Hub?
Is April? They said April 8th is when they should start putting stuff out,
Okay.
and like by April 14th, a large like they should be for all direct markets.
Right.
But again, Image said they're not following this
Right.
system anyway, which sucks because most of the comics I love come from Image. So
Yeah.
look at that.
We'll see what happens at the end of the day.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, that was depressing as fuck. Next topic. Free comic book day postponed. Oh god damn it. So
Yeah.
so with all the things that are happening in regards to the C word, a lot of our events and movies and all that stuff is being postponed. And like I said, the things in the comic book world aren't being turned topsy turvy like free comic book day. Now, if you don't know, every year around Mayish, like the first Wednesday in May, is it? I think there is something called Free Comic Book Day, which basically various different companies put out free comics for the fans, where they can literally just go to any. You would literally walk into any local comic book and say, "Hey, can I get a free comic book? My free comic book," and they will give you like 4 or 5 from like different companies will give you free comics, and these are usually also great for like kicking off or giving you a prequel to like
A new
summer
series, right?
events. Yeah,
Yeah.
like so like new series that are starting, new crossover events, new series see like company wide events like I think like I don't know if you guys anyone who out there follows Invincible War, which was literally a comic book wide comic line image skyline line event they released the issue on like Free Comic Book Day. A lot of a lot of the big Marvel events released a comic book day, a free comic book day. So it's a big thing. It got postponed. That sucks because I was like, I know for a fact they were gonna release a free comic book to talk about the Avengers Fantastic Four crossover event, Empire War, or it's called Empire, which is basically about Hulkling taking over the Krull and the Kree. No, the Skrulls and the Kree. They combine forces and they're going to go conquer Earth. I don't know how the hell that's going down. But the Skrulls and the Kree, lifelong enemies, have united under one banner, which is Hulkling, who is the child of both.
Right, the king of the universe.
He's now I mean, it's weird. That's a whole weird thing. And I was waiting for that. And like with all of the stuff that's happening, I would love to have read that. And then, which I was super excited for, there's going to be a sequel to what was it was the DC event, Metal, Dark Knight's Metal.
Right.
Dark Metal. Is it like, no, it's DC Metal. Sorry, that was the event. It was basically the one with the Batman, where there was like various different forms of Batman that had come to conquer, and it was a dark universe, and it restarted this new age of Justice League, which Justice League has been amazing since that event. There was going to be a sequel to it called Death Metal, and it was going to be main starring Wonder Woman. So they were going to show a preview of that, and like the art for it looks sick. But now we have to wait until Free Comic Book Day has stuff. It was usually Saturdays. So the Saturday it was going to be May 2nd this year, and it has been delayed.
Can I ask you a quick question before we move on? I don't know this for sure, but did they have Free Comic Book Day digitally?
Yeah, they do.
They did? Okay.
They have. Well, I mean, yeah, fuck, that's right. So they might just release them digitally. But yeah, I distinctly believe that Comixology has their own copies of things. But there's like 47 different comics that are supposed to be coming out for Free Comic Book Day, and it would be like a mad dash. It would be kind of like you would just go to different local comic book shops and see where you can get for free. And if you have the stuff already, you didn't. And like if you're like me, you collect them until you see if you can collect them all. Kind of like McDonald's Happy Meal toys.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
that's fun. They don't do that stuff anymore because these kids choke on those toys. That's why.
I mean, they make them bigger now, so they don't. But like, yeah,
just can't have anything nice anymore. That's what it is.
No, you cannot. All right, so Free Comic Book Day postponed. Sad faces for everyone.
Sad faces.
Oh wait, hold on. There's a list of the comics they were going to releasing. So X-Men, Spider-Man, Donald Duck, Riverdale, Street Fighter, My Little Pony, Legend of Zelda, Twilight, Twilight Princess, and Bloodshot. And that was some of the 47 free comics they were going to release for this Free Comic Book Day. That's the ones they were announced, so they might actually sneak some in there later. But who knows?
So quickly on to the next news about movie delays, because there's tons of them. So I don't know if you want to handle this, but just to start, we have some of the Marvel movies that have gotten delayed. Black Widow. What else? What was the other one?
I think they pushed back the production of Thor.
Eternals, right?
The Eternals, Eternals release date, and Thor got in Love and Thunder. That's being pushed back.
Right, and then something with Sony.
Sony delays Morbius. They're delaying
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Oh yes, Uncharted, and wow, I just covered this recently. Hold on, actually, I have this list right here. How about that?
Oh, go for it. There it is.
Morbius, Uncharted, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yep.
But they're adding some new ones to it because every major studio is just releasing pretty much back to back releasing. They're delaying certain certain movies as it's going. So for movies being delayed, Top Gun Maverick, which I wanted to see because it's a sequel to Top Gun. That's like a American classic.
To see that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Apparently, Chris Pratt was coming out with a new sci-fi movie called Tomorrow War, but that is being delayed. A Quiet Place Part 2, which was a great horror movie and just a great movie overall. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Sponge on the Run, is being delayed. Minions: The Rise of Gru is being delayed. Yeah, just a bummer.
It's a sad day. But again, we'll get into more of a reason as to why this might not be a terrible, terrible thing later on. But yeah,
Yeah.
tons of delays.
Potential delays.
Speaking of media delays, comic book delays, movie delays, we have video game delays.
Yay!
Yay!
Just
So,
take everything.
for those of you who like physical copies of things, just to let you know, some games that are coming out in the near future, such as Final Fantasy VII, you may have been lucky enough to get a physical copy this week. If you lived in like Australia or something. So good on ya, mate, for getting a physical copy. Yeah, it's terrible. But so this will not hold back this situation that's happening right now in the world. Will not hold back the digital release of Final Fantasy VII. We will see that next week for release on the PlayStation Store next Friday. So that's happening. But in the distant future, games like The Last of Us Part 2, which everyone has been waiting for, and Iron Man VR, which pretty interesting, have been delayed, unfortunately. In an official statement, SIE has made the difficult decision to delay the launch of The Last of Us Part 2 and Marvel's Iron Man VR until further notice. Logistically, the global crisis, we're just going to call it that, is preventing us from providing the launch experience our players deserve. Currently, there are no other delays to report, but we'll keep you updated. You can trust me on this one, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be more delays to report.
Yes.
This is not a flash in a pan. Okay.
Yeah.
We're in this for the long haul, unfortunately. So, on a brighter note, delays for video games are usually a good thing. It gives some of these companies more time to work on things, but given the situation, a lot of them can't work together in the same offices, and they got to work from home. So we'll see how everything pans out eventually, and maybe we'll have more on it on the next podcast when this whole situation fleshes out a bit more.
Funny enough, like I'm a huge Iron Man fan, but I'm more disappointed that The Last of Us Part 2 is being delayed.
Ditto.
And you know what's funny? I didn't play that game.
You didn't?
No. But here's the thing. I watched the game.
Oh, okay. So you know
it was like no. So you know how those have the cinematic trailers, stuff like that, where you literally watch an entire gameplay as a movie.
You can recap it pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I do that for a lot of the COD games because I don't feel like playing them, but I like when I'm hearing the storyline because the storyline's so damn interesting. The Last of Us was like a fucking movie. Yeah. Like it was beautiful, and the storyline looks so cool. And so when I saw there was a second one, I was just like, oh, I'm definitely gonna watch that. So. This is bumming me out, man. This is, yeah.
So the unfortunate part is, like, they apparently just when they decided to close their offices, Naughty Dog, I'm talking about the publishers and developers of The Last of Us, just when this started to happen, they were apparently at their peak developmental stage, where like everyone was hands on deck and like they were like gunning for like to go gold. Like this game was like almost ready for QA, like good to go. And the unfortunate thing, this happens, and now we're looking at waiting a bit longer. So it is a sad situation, but again, it's not all bad news. It's not all bad. We've had enough of bad news.
Yeah.
But that was the news for the last month and a half. The important news, that is. And next we'll discuss on what's on the rumor mill. Yeah.
So first things up is X-Men profiles okay. So if you haven't heard of Disney Plus, where have you been? Have you been living under a rock? It's the Disney service that Disney Plus is a service that has a bunch of different catalogs of Disney collected content, like which includes a lot of the stuff that they bought from Fox and various other companies. One of the things that everyone has been loving the fact that it's on Disney Plus is X-Men, the animated X-Men from the 1990s, which was great. Now, recently Disney Plus has added some new X-Men profile avatars that you can use to like
Mm-hmm.
change stuff. And this has gotten people to think that there might be looking to redo X-Men the animated series.
Now you say redo or continue.
That's the thing. I don't know. It might
Okay.
be a continuation. It might be a new one. It might be redoing the old one. Don't know.
You know
But
what? I don't care either way. Just please, 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 just put the original intro in there. If you have to remake the intro but same music, that's fine. But please let me hear that theme song one more time,
I'm
at the
telling
very
you,
least.
I'm telling you, it is that theme song is so well loved that I'm putting money that in one of the X-Men trailers when the movie finally drops,
Right.
they're gonna sample it. If they don't
Hope
if
so.
they don't sample it, then I guarantee you someone's ringtone is gonna be that theme song.
I hope so. I hope so. But I mean, this is really something to get excited about. I know this is on the rumor mill, but if this was an is it worthy item, yeah, it'd be so worthy. We are
Oh
so
yeah.
Disney, we are ready. We've been ready for years. For years. Just do it.
Just give it to us.
I don't care if you have to wait to announce this until after all this mess is over. All right? Just announce it and make us all happy.
Yes, please. Give us something to look forward to the end of this year, maybe next year, whatever.
Absolutely. You know what I'm looking forward to? More Ryan Reynolds. I didn't wait for you to answer. I'm sorry.
That was so not what I was gonna guess, so that's fine.
Okay.
More
Um,
Ryan Reynolds. All right. Yeah,
look. At
yeah.
this point, this guy has come from doing the shittiest movies and almost destroying his career to just doing no wrong at this point. So hey, I can't be mad, right?
Anyone who could come back from that abysmal Green Lantern movie, then
Yeah, yeah. The rumor mill states that Ryan Reynolds might be circling the live action Dragon's Lair movie for Netflix. So Netflix has picked up the rights to the 1983 arcade game Dragon's Lair to make it a live action movie. So the rumor is Ryan Reynolds is supposed to star. So should the deal go forward, Ryan Reynolds will portray the hero Dirk the Daring. The original Dragon's Lair hit arcades in 1983, quickly became a sensation thanks to its animation. The series was created by former Disney animator Don Bluth and Rick Dyer. So this is cool and all, but not a lot of people remember this game. And here's the
nope.
thing: I actually remember playing it.
Really?
I don't remember anything else about it.
Wow. I I
I
remember looking at it and being like, "This looks corny," and then just kind of just. No, I was like 6, so I remember like looking like this looks corny,
I mean,
and
it must be a cult classic. I mean, it's still in some arcades across the world. And honestly, you can download it right now and play it. I mean, it's available. So I don't know. This is cool and everything. He doesn't look like the character from what I see, but hey,
dies and
movie
like
magic.
movie magic. I mean, it doesn't like I. This is so not something that usually gets made into a movie that it's kind of like you can do so much with it and make it its own thing. It's like it's not like if no one like the same people who played Dragon's Lair to enjoy Dragon's Lair are not necessarily going to be the same people who go see this movie. So
Right,
you don't have to worry too much about making sure the content is 100% accurate. So that's
right.
fine.
Who's gonna see this? Like,
Uh,
what demographic are they really looking for here?
here, Ryan Reynolds is on a mission to get every part of your childhood. So if you like comics and you
Right,
love Deadpool, he got you. If you wanted
right.
Pokemon, he got you with Detective Pikachu. You like DC, he was Green Lantern. He's like, I'm trying to touch on every part of your childhood. And like I can't not respect that. The hustle.
Yeah, I do respect the hustle. And one thing we do know for sure, because he announced it. On a side note, they are working on Deadpool 3. So
Cool.
we knew that was happening regardless. It doesn't really matter, but
Yeah.
that's something to really get excited about because it's real. Um, okay,
All right.
that was on the rumor mill.
Okay.
What's our next? segment.
Is it worthy?
Is it worthy?
Is it worthy?
Okay, so first, what we have on Is It Worthy? We have Civil War, Avengers versus.
Yeah, no, cause I'm sorry. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Avengers versus X-Men, Dark Phoenix Saga, more now free digitally on Marvel Unlimited and Comixology. Also, Marvel offers buy one get one free sale on digital comics.
Okay, so basically, what's going on is Marvel is since there's no new issues of comic books, everyone thought that this would be a great time. Marvel thought this would be a great time to have a sale. So, every if you can think, all of the really amazing storylines that happened in the last 20 to 25 years, they decided to put that on sale. So Civil War, which is if you're a Marvel fan, you need to read Civil War. If you're a Marvel fan, you need to read the Dark Phoenix Saga. If you're a Marvel fan, you need to read Avengers versus X-Men. These are all great storylines. They got a bunch of other stuff on there that I'm not going to list out now, but you definitely check it out because Comixology is great in regards to buying comics. They always have sales, and if you have a Comics Unlimited account, you automatically get a sale on that. So Comixology Unlimited basically is their almost like their Netflix based deal for Comixology, which is $5.99. Right now you can get it for I believe 60 days because because of the whole C word thing. It used to be 30, and you get every once a month you get pretty much coupon codes to buy stuff for a very reduced price. Like a couple months ago, I got one for Image, another one I got one from like Valiant and stuff like that. And you use it, and you can buy like a bunch of comics, and you can like get it for half off. But every time you buy a comic, regardless of whatever, you get a discounted price. I think they knock off like 5% of the thing. So like even like so you'll be paying like 89 cents for $1.50 comic or something like that.
Yeah.
And you get access to their entire library that they have, which is very much up to date.
It's almost everything. It's
almost everything, which I really like. Like it's like what I like is it's everything that you would need to get interested into a storyline. So say you wanted to read X-Men, they'll give you all access to all these X-Men comics that you've never read, so you can get interested in it. But anything of like that came out in the last like 3 or 4 months, they won't have that.
You can't get anything that came out like last Wednesday or anything like that until it's available for unlimited access.
Yeah, but it's the thing is it's all their catalog, and Comixology is the big man on campus. It is the name in the name of the game of the digital comics. So you're not just doing like, for example, I started reading Attack on Titan, the manga, on Comixology because they had the first, I want to say 6 or 7 volumes free. I think right now it's up to like 13 volumes.
Oh yeah, there. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, a Battle Angel Attila. I read that on Comixology, and they had almost all of it. So, yeah, Comixology Unlimited is the way to go. Not only that, so Marvel's doing a buy one get one free sale on all their digital comics because Marvel has its own private comic book website, which is I think Marvel Unlimited or something like that. Yeah. But like, what's cool about them is that they have a partnership with Comixology where you can actually link your Marvel account to your Comixology account. So anything you buy on Marvel's buy one get one set, anything you buy on Marvel's account, digital accounts, automatically gets added to your Comixology account. Also, since Comixology is owned by Amazon, any digital comic you buy for your Kindle, like if you buy it like on a Kindle store, that automatically adds to your Comixology account too. So it's like when you buy a physical CD and you get the MP3s. Their Comixology is like trying to be your one-stop place for all your digital comics. So I'm here for it. And like when I say they have sales, they have sales. They have many a times ruined a paycheck of mine because I was just like, oh, I've been meaning to read that entire storyline. Oh, you're selling the bundle for like $99 and it has all of it plus all the side stories? Fuck. And then there you go. There goes money.
Yeah. And just a heads up for anybody that's looking to actually do this. It looks like the offer expires on April 7th, 2020 at 11 p.m. Eastern. Offer is not valid on anything released on April 1st or after. So anything before that, you should be able to take advantage of this. And I'm trying to see what else here. Oh yeah, so the promotion code to use is all caps Marvel MARVEL 2020 at checkout.
Okay. So April 7th is what? That's that Monday? No, it's not Monday.
Looks like it's going to be Tuesday.
So get out there and buy your comics.
Got all weekend.
Got all weekend to buy all these expensive these cheap ass comics. So go forth. Yeah. Oh, also, in this little side note, Marvel and DC writers say that they want a crossover event again so they can boost sales. Now, obviously, it's going to be delayed because of all that stuff, and it's not an official thing. But I'm just saying. I'm saying. They're a big company, but sales are dropping. I guarantee you, if you took Marvel and DC and you combine the companies with all their data and stuff,
the more you keep pushing this, the more I'm tending to believe that this is going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
You're slowly winning me over. Slowly.
You know what? Image comics that come out, people like them because they have no story from before and they have no story after. You do it and done. It's its own private storyline. Marvel and DC, there's always going to be some type of restart or redo and all that stuff. There's no way to make stuff fresh. You can introduce new characters, but a lot of characters people are always going to want to hear the same. They want to see Captain America. They want to see Iron Man. They want to see Superman. They want to see Batman. They want to see all those people. If you put them in different universes, that just opens up a whole new arena to stuff. Both of them have very rich histories. Put them together. You can make some stuff work. You get some creative writers like Snyder or Hickman, and they can just make shit, happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but it sometimes you have to, think of something fresh, and DC did that not too long ago with Darkseid War. As we know, the Joker has many different quote unquote origins. We kind of know like where he came from and all that stuff, but
depending who's writing the story.
But after Darkseid War, we find out that hey, there's 3 of those motherfuckers. Excuse my language. Bleep.
Okay, so this was okay. So Darkseid War had happened a while ago, and like it was good, and then so during that time, Batman. It's kind of complicated, but Batman basically sat on Metron's chair.
Yep.
Which is the source of a whole shit ton of knowledge and all that stuff. So he had the ability to ask questions, and he asked some questions, and one of them was basically he wanted to know basically what the deal is with Joker, because Joker has been one of his biggest villains for forever, and he needed to know stuff. And it kind of ended up being revealed that he had there was 3 Jokers, and then they didn't do anything with that.
Nope.
They did nothing with it, and it's been years since anyone had made any freaking reference to it.
They were sitting on that, Sam. They were sitting on that gold mine.
They were just like, there's 3 Jokers. And you're just like, okay. And then they proceeded to like use the Joker on like fucking stories and shit. And like, they had mad other events afterwards. And you're just like, okay, so are we going to ever talk about the fact that there's 3 Jokers? And then they had the nerve to show comic art of like, there's like 2 Jokers meeting another Joker in a cabin in the woods. And you're like, okay, are you going to release a comic and explaining this? And they said they would. And eventually, and then now they said they are, and it's finally happening. And then, of course, the C word's happening, so now it's going to be delayed. but they're saying that this is going to change the Joker's whole deal for forever. Now, here's the thing: the Joker has had various different forms and iterations. Right. Some have been well loved, and some of them haven't. I'm one of the few people that apparently love the Joker that was in Suicide Squad.
Well, that's part of the mystique of what the Joker is. There's so many different ideas of what he is.
Yes. He's gone from just simple jokester that commits crimes and using laughing gas and all that shit to like brutally beating the shit out of Jason Todd to death with a crowbar and blowing him up and paralyzing Barbara Gordon and taking very compromising pictures of her, and then taking her father and putting him in a love tunnel, like a love boat tunnel, like in a carnival, and having him see pictures of his daughter shot to shit, and like try to break his brain. So Joker has range, but they're saying that there's 3 Jokers, and this is going to change the character forever. So it makes me think that some of the stories that we saw with the Joker throughout all these years wasn't one Joker. I think they're going to reveal that Joker from the beginning was actually 3. And 3 different Jokers have been doing 3 different things. So there's probably one Joker that's actually the one that's super violent, that probably is the one who beat Jason Todd to death and shot Barbara Gordon. And like another Joker is a Joker that we saw like in the animated sitcom that was violent, but like a lot of the times he didn't kill anyone because he was just like doing like goofy shit, like making laughing gas and like robbing people and like trying to outsmart Batman. And then like they had this Joker version that they had in the most recent Batman run with Tom King, who seemed like the Joker, but like he was also kind of a little more serious, and he was trying to get a joke going through. So I think they're gonna show this is what the deal is, but we don't know. And but we do know is that this is going to heavily feature Jason Todd and Barbara Gordon, and they're going to be working with the Batman to solve this great mystery of the 3 Jokers. So.
Honestly, the closest they've come to even delving deep into this was in Endgame, where, Batman refused to believe all this bullshit about, oh, Joker's immortal, or like, he got in contact with some, I don't know, the Lazarus Pit in some form or fashion, all that stuff, and he's been around since the 1800s and yada yada. And he turned out to be right in the end, but throughout the entire series, they made it so interesting to a point where, like, wow, this could be like a real thing. Like, we've known so many different origins depending on who's writing it, and this seems like a situation where they're sort of delving deeper into the mythos that is the Joker. I think that's the closest we've come to this. And I mean, I really hope they solve this entire situation and we actually get answers. And it's not just another type of, no, it was just another, a
misdirection.
Exactly.
Yeah. Me too. This is very interesting. I'm very fascinated by it. In the current Batman storyline right now, the Joker's actually involved, and he's saying this is going to be his final battle with Batman. And currently what's going on is they introduced a new villain called the Designer, who had these great plans. Okay, so real quick, because I find this kind of interesting. And this is probably going to tie into the 3 Jokers in some way. Right. So real quick, to summarize what's been going on with the Designer, there's this new supervillain that's been like plaguing Batman in the last couple of issues because we started with a new writer, Tywin, I forget his last name, the 4th or something, but Tyrion something the 4th. Anyway, so Batman is trying to fix this guy who has these super advanced plans on how to stop him, and like he's always one step ahead of him and stuff. And then so he finds out that Catwoman met this person, so he talks to him, and she gives him the story of basically her, Penguin, the Riddler, and Joker. And how back when Batman first started, they were invited to meet the Designer. The Designer was like this super master thief who's had these great and elaborate plans, and like how like people would always you would say, oh, did this person think of a crime? And if it thinks so impossible, he's like, oh, the Designer probably did it. So the Designer invites them over, and he says he wants to sit down with each one of them and help them take their form to the next level, because he had the same problem that they had with Batman with another person, and he had to come up with a plan so elaborate, so great, that it was able to leave that person speechless and like helpless, and they just retired because he found his final form basically, and he was going to help them develop themselves. He's like, he thinks they're all level 1s right now, maybe even level 2s, but he can take them to a level 12. Right. So each individual person he talks to, and he says it'll give them funding and help them do what they need to do. In exchange, he'll take a part of it, and then they'll never see him again. So he sits down with Catwoman, and she comes with stealing so much money, she would stealing the most money as ever done before, right? And then Penguin wanted to be mayor of Gotham and how he would go about doing all that stuff. And then the Riddler wanted to create a maze that would prove he was the smartest person ever, and have all the people in Gotham all falling around all over themselves and not be able to stop him and stuff. And then the Joker goes in with him, and it's all one-on-one meetings. So they all sitting outside, and they're they're like excited about this, and they're all telling each other their plans and stuff. And Joker goes inside, and he's in there for hours.
Yeah.
And then the designer comes out and says, "Kill them all!" And he just starts trying to kill all of them. And then Joker comes and shoots the designer, and he says, and he's just like, "Oh, so I told him a joke. He didn't like it, and he so I had to like whatever. Like, it ended up having him kill him, and it's all great. And then they destroy the designer and burn his body and burn the house he was in, and they like pretend to never talk about it. But they say like Catwoman's talking about like how she's looking at the Joker and she's like, what did the designer see that the second he realized what the Joker really was, he thought the best course of action was to kill everyone in the area, kill everyone in the house. Like she was watching his eyes, and that was literally the first time she got to see the madness behind his eyes, the real chaos, and that was before Joker became like the unstopping, sadistic, I want to watch the whole world burn persona start to come over. Like they talked, and like then the next issue, Joker was talking about from his point of view what was happening, but he didn't reveal anything. He was talking riddles. He said what he asked the designer was, I want to be like basically he was calling the designer the devil at the time. It was like the devil was giving everyone a treat, and he gave one to the cat, and he gave one to the bird, and he gave one to the Riddler. And he asked me, what did I want? And I said, to be the devil.
Wow.
So again, the Joker has been like in the issue that he has like a whole bunch of different plans that he has been putting into motion.
This is what I'm worried about, because I heard about this designer thing, but like because I never actually read any of those. But what worries me most is that what's going to happen is the Joker found a way to get the chair to tell Batman lies. Like some overly planned, like this overly designed plan from like years back, right? From the Joker that again will be misdirection.
If DC does that, then it is like the biggest womp womp that we ever got. Metron's chair is new god technology.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But they did in the previous comic, there was like a jail cell that they had the Joker in, and it was new god technology, part of the locks. And literally Bane, he was trying to get into that room. He goes into the other part of Arkham Asylum, takes the Riddler, puts him to the wall and says, fix this in 30 seconds or I'll open this in 30 seconds or I'll kill you. And the Riddler's just sitting there just like, does some things, and the lock unlocks. So they don't really give a crap about like that sort of stuff. So it might be that Joker can do this. I don't think that's the case. I think the Joker is actually either created 2 more Jokers, or it was always 3, or some other weird thing that we're going to find out.
It's certainly possible, the whole multiverse. There's a lot of things, but this is so interesting, and we're not going to see it for a while. That's what's annoying. Yeah. So.
All right, but 3 Jokers, look out for it.
It's worthy.
It's worthy.
Next up, so there was a little movie called Snowpiercer that was created by Chris Evans of Captain America fame. Or produced. He produced. It was
produced and starred.
Right.
It was actually made by Snowpiercer was actually made by the same person who made the movie that won the award and won the Oscar. Oh my god. Parasite. Yes.
Right. Great movie.
Yes.
And they are making a show on TNT. I believe it's 10 episodes. Yes. So they're making a film adaptation for 10 episodes starring Jennifer Connelly and Daveed Diggs. So it's going to debut on May 17th at 9 p.m. Eastern. So for those who don't know what Snowpiercer is, first of all, get out from under that rock and go watch the movie. It was really good. And second of all, It was set more than 7 years after the world has become frozen wasteland. Snowpiercer centers on the remnants of humanity who inhabit a perpetually moving train with 1,001 cars that circles the globe. Class warfare, social injustice, politics, and survival play out in this riveting television adaptation. So it's a big lower class versus upper class type theme to the movie. It's really good. It's very quirky. It's also brutal. The characters are fun, are awesomely designed. In the movie, Tilda Swinton played, I guess, whoever's playing Jennifer Connelly's character. And she was fantastic in it. And it's really good. It's really good. Highly recommended. And TNT, a little surprised by that. I feel like it should have been like an HBO type thing. I think that would have been really good. But hey, I'm not going to cast any aspersions. Hopefully they do a good job. I will definitely be watching the first episode when that premieres.
All right. Well, you're right. I kind of thought this would be more of a HBO thing, but you know, TNT got it, so that's cool. The production quality on TNT projects are not too bad. I mean, The Librarian was actually pretty nice looking for.
It was okay. They had the falling. It's called Falling. I want to say Falling Stars, but there was a show about aliens taking over the planet.
Oh right,
Falling. Oh, I can't remember. Google. But that was really good as well. They don't do so bad with Falling Skies. Falling Skies.
There you go.
They don't do so bad with their, bigger budget sci-fi shows. So
okay.
We'll see how they do with this.
Yeah, let's see how they do it.
Yeah.
All right. So next one. I know this is probably a bad idea because we want to keep all you fans to us. And we don't want to share our fans for other podcasts, but this was so awesome I kind of had to mention it. So I don't know if you know this, but if you don't know, I'm a huge fan of the TV show called Scrubs. It was a great show about medical doctors, just pretty much being doctors. It starts off with like residents, and they work their way up to attending doctors. Well, no, they start off as interns, and they work their way up from attending doctors, and it was one of the funniest dark comedies I've ever watched. It was like a dramedy, dark dramedy, because like it would have these moments of like complete quirkiness, and then like characters would die, and like you have to deal with grief. And the hospital is a very brutal place, so it's very nice to see it. And like doctors have actually said that out of all the doctor and nurse TV shows that they have out, one of the most realistic ones was Scrubs, because it was everyone had they capture the am I hurting my patient? Am I being worried about your patients? And how like dealing with the stress of work and stuff. Anyway, if you don't know again about Scrubs, one of the two characters, Turk and JD, their main characters, were the best of friends. So much so that it bled over to the actual actors, Zach Braff and Donald Faison. And like they are like literally the cutest, like the heterosexual life mates you'll ever meet. And like their like relationship was very, very odd, but very, very like heartwarming. It was very cute. And like they even had a song called Guy Love. It was very strange. But anyway, the two actors, Zach Braff and Donald Faison, are going to do a rewatch of the TV show Scrubs, and post episodes. So like I guess every episode would be a new episode. Every episode of the podcast would be an episode of the show, and the podcast is called Fake Doctors, Real Friends. So it's adorable. If you ever seen any Scrubs episodes, you know what I mean by when you say like this is like the biggest bromance you've ever seen. Turk and JD are just like
it's real. It's real.
It's real. The love is real. It's palpable. Yeah, you would taste it through your TV.
Okay, I think it's okay to promote another podcast. There's something for everybody out there, right? In the podcast world.
And I'm definitely going to be listening to this, so that's cool. Watching, listening, however have you.
Good stuff. So next up, we have Rockstar Games, creators of GTA and Red Dead Redemption, those who game, to donate 5% of GTA Online and Red Dead Online in-game revenue to the current situation relief fund.
Relief fund.
Right. So they are going to be doing it. Oh, they started doing it. Today is the 3rd of April, so they did it yesterday. Started doing it yesterday. There's no specific figure that can be referenced in regard to how much money this will entail. With it's got microtransactions in some of these games, so it should be a lot of money. Given the fact that Grand Theft Auto 5 shifted 120 million copies since 2013 launch.
Wow.
Everybody's playing it. Everybody's playing the online version. It's been out for a while, but it's still a very popular game. Also, Red Dead Redemption. But Rockstar Games joins the list of publishers raising money for the people and organizations affected by the ongoing crisis. For example, publisher Humble is currently offering a great package of 45 games for $30. Ooh. And obviously that the entire proceeds are donated to selection of global healthcare charities. Just this morning, Sony announced the creation of a $100 million pandemic relief fund to help support workers in healthcare, education, and entertainment. It's good to see some of these really big, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just these really big companies.
Yeah, big storyline with big
mainstream companies,
mainstream game companies, and
using their excess, to help out. Obviously, a lot of people, need certain things like ventilators and masks. Which is it's crazy to think that America that has an abundance of things where we have a short of some of the things that we need for our healthcare system to continue. So it's good to see them help out in that aspect. So kudos to you, Rockstar Games. We applaud you,
and I hope other companies follow suit.
Yeah, absolutely. We're a number of them are, which is great. We haven't named them all, obviously, but even outside the gaming industry, we have a lot of companies working really hard to help out. So, kudos to everybody. This is a unifying thing.
Yes.
And that is it for.
Is it worthy?
Obviously, we didn't go through which was worthy, which was not worthy, but. You get the gist on how we discuss some of these topics. So
honestly, every one of these topics was worthy.
I think so too. Agreed. Next up, we have our closing discussion to wrap things up. So we have the big question, the existential question of the day. Given the current climate on, everyone staying home and how we used to do things like go out to the movies on the weekend or go to the comic book store on Wednesdays, go to the restaurant to eat food, things like that.
Weird, simple things.
But yeah, that first thing with movies, a lot of these publishers are now releasing movies day of release in theaters. They're releasing them digitally.
Yes.
And that's a big deal. One big one was The Invisible Man. Very highly rated movie. Apparently it's really good. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure if you have, Sam. But apparently it's fantastic from what I understand. But
I saw Hollow Man, which was basically The Invisible Man a while ago with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
So I'm just dragging my foot for that.
I got you. So that was just an example of one of the movies that they released recently digitally. So on Amazon Prime, they have a cinema version of an Amazon Prime where you can go to and purchase these movies. And basically you pay $19.99 for a movie that you can rent for 48 hours, right? Now, that seems expensive at first until you realize when you go to the theater for, let's just say, 2 people, and you're paying what, $15 for a ticket
Yes.
to
Well,
see a movie.
that's for like average movies.
Yeah.
I funny fucking enough. I don't. Let me start from the beginning. I am a huge fan of the Alamo Draft House. Shout out to Mike DeCrescio from Mike and Mike Go to the Movies. He put me onto the Alamo Draft House, and unfortunately, I was spoiled because the place is amazing. They serve you out. They serve you food to your seat and alcohol.
Oh,
and,
that's great.
And like loaded milkshakes and
What?
like their food is actually not fucking bad. And they have good alcohol, like not just regular, like Heineken or something. I'm talking about like craft beer stuff, and they also have loaded milkshakes, so you can get a milkshake with like booze in it, like you like Kahlua or what have you.
That's
and
awesome.
Then they also don't allow people under the age of 18 in the movie theater, so you don't have any crying kids. You get to pick your seat. All the seats are super comfy and all that stuff. And then they released something called Alamo for All, which is basically like their movie pass. So
that's great.
You pay one low fee a month, and you can see as many movies as you want. You still have to pay for the food, but you have movie tickets. On average, the movie tickets are about like $15 to $17.
Right.
Because it's a special movie theater with all the access and all that stuff like that. And you just show them your ticket when you get in and all that stuff. I bought Alamo for All. I got the access. I used it to watch Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Then C-Word hit.
Damn.
Then C-Word hit.
I'm so sorry, bro.
I was so big people mad. I was just like, I saw Scott. The last movie I saw in theaters was Sonic the Hedgehog, which surprisingly wasn't that bad.
It was,
and then they're just like, oh, we're just gonna pause your membership. So they're not charging me because all the movie theaters closed. But I saw it literally a week before they closed it. I'm just like,
so sorry. That's awful. That's awful. Well, so based on all that we've talked about just now. So I got two questions for you before we get onto the main question in our closing discussion. First question is, would you invite, let's say, 20 of your friends to the house and spend $20 on a movie to rent and all just sit together and watch it?
Any other event? Probably.
Let's just say it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah, okay. So, like, say, for example, Black Widow came out, right, and like I wanted to buy it. If we were ignoring the C-word guidelines of being 6 feet away from each other and not dogging and all that stuff, if we were ignoring that, yeah, of course I would invite. I don't have 20 friends. I don't collect friends like that. But like, I could get enough friends to come to my house and we would sit there and watch a movie. I could totally do that. I've been hammering for this for a while, and
so with that said, is it better, okay, to go to the theater, spend money on individual tickets, $15, let's say you don't have a pass or a rewards card or anything like that, right? Is it better to spend $15 a ticket and go to theaters, or rent it on video on demand for $20 and have as many people as you want watch it with you?
Okay, so my answer to that, unfortunately, is it depends. Because like
that's an honest answer.
Like for me, I'm an introvert. A lot of the movies I'm gonna want to see by myself or in the house, and I will pay $20 my damn self and just watch a movie for a bunch of time. Because that's, if I don't have to go see the movie in theaters, I won't see the movie in theaters for most of them. Certain movies, though, I am definitely seeing in theaters because I want to see the full effect. Going to go see Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War in theaters was part of the experience of watching the movie.
You're absolutely right.
The fans all cheering at the scene when Captain America gets Mjolnir and he hits it down, he hits Thor, and he's fighting Thanos. That scene got everyone in the audience hyped. When he said Avengers Assemble, everyone was like, hyped. Yes! In certain movies, you kind of want the whole fandom to be with you. Just
Thor's battle cry after he said Avengers Assemble. And no, after like they started attacking, like that was
chills. The whole thing was chills. So, and like, you know what? Also, and I'm gonna go different route with it. Date nights. People want to get the fuck out the house and they want to have a good date. So you go to movie theater is still a great date.
Netflix and chill is still a thing.
I mean, but that's what Netflix and chill. I mean, you're watching a couple episodes of your favorite TV show.
Tiger King and a little, Tiger action.
I actually am gonna put out something later about Tiger King on 4 Minutes to Save the Show. If you have heard of the little podcast we have now, it's called 4 Minutes to Save the Show. It's a little podcast that we put out, which will summarize a bunch of movies, TV shows, news, or what have you, in 4 minutes or less. So Google it and look for it in any one of your normal places to find podcasts. Like you find one of this. It's another one of the Rapture Press things, and I put out issue number 1 in like a couple days ago, and probably putting out issue number 2 before this weekend is out. So go look at shameless plug. But anyway, go to the movies, see some stuff like that. But like I know you want to Netflix and chill, and you sit home with your stuff, but sometimes you actually want to get out of the house and go like. And again, if your movie theater serves food, and it's a dinner and a movie all at the same time, so
I guess I guess you have to ask yourself 2 questions when you're deciding this. You know, do you value the dollar more or do you value the experience more? So
it depends on the moment.
It really depends. So
what about you?
But I mean, for me, you're absolutely right. There's nothing like that experience when I was sitting watching Endgame with everybody in the theater. Nobody, like, I don't know these people.
You don't know them.
When you're sitting. And all of a sudden, there's a moment that happens on screen, and everyone actually stands up and cheers, like in the theater. Like it's really an amazing moment, and you don't really get that. The thing is, you don't get that with a lot of movies. Period.
You don't.
All right. It tends to happen with Marvel movies, though,
or comic book movies in general.
In general, absolutely.
Like, I will say this: I went to go see. This is way back when Wolverine Origins, and like there's a scene where like at the end, there's a scene where like Wolverine cuts off Deadpool's head and kicks him down a pit. And like right when he's kicking him down the pit, someone in the theater was just like, "This is Sparta!" And like it had the whole theater routing, like stuff like that.
I've had those times where you had like the random person having the best commentary ever, like either in front of you or behind you. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're in this situation right now where, and for the long haul, where we might be experiencing this thing that Amazon is doing, where, you know, these movies are going to get released same time in the theaters digitally. So with that said, the existential question is, which movie do you wish would come out on VOD at the same time?
Black Widow.
Okay.
I didn't want to go see Black Widow in the theaters anyway. No offense to Black Widow. I actually think the movie looks awesome, and I really want to watch it. I would rather watch that movie in-house so I can like pause and fast forward. I like being able to like take my time with stuff like that. I don't think it's unless it's like an Avengers level movie where it's just like a whole team up with a whole bunch of crossover stuff. I don't need to see those movies the same day. If I can watch them in the comfort of my own home, I will, goddammit, and I will enjoy it. And Black Widow will be one of those movies right off the rip. Also, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I would love to see that same day.
I'd love to see that same day in the house. That would be great because that would be like I had a long week. I want to relax. I pop a beer, turn it on.
Do it on your own time. Yeah.
Just enjoy the nostalgia kick, you know? Or I could watch it like I could take a day, or I could be like a day off or something. I'll just be watching it like freaking in the middle of the afternoon on a Tuesday. Doesn't matter. It's whenever the hell I want to watch it.
Yeah. I'm sorry I have to bite off you, but yeah, Black Widow is definitely number 1 for me. And then number 2 for me would have to be Thor: Love and Thunder, because I'm still sort of like on a high after Ragnarok. Given how bad Thor 2 was,
yes,
it was like a crazy jump, sharp, yeah. So I'm still on a high, and I feel like it's gonna be just as good, if not better. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping this doesn't last that long. But if it does last any longer than that, then hoping they release that or they film it somehow. I don't know, because they still haven't filmed it yet.
Yeah, because
that's another thing.
Yeah.
The thing.
People who say that they shouldn't release it on VOD, their biggest I think thing is that, and this is shitty, when it releases on VOD, almost immediately it's released on on like torrent sites and downloading sites
Yes,
at
that's what
the
they're
same
worried about.
quality as the thing. So
But
like,
whose fault is that? Get better security.
yeah, I mean, people need to take security as serious as they
Yes.
seriously as a whole. But yes, so like, I feel as though the fans would still, you wouldn't like, you will still get that money. People will still pay for it. You know.
So, with that all said, all right, is to finish up the discussion. Will this hurt the entertainment industry in general? And the reason I'm asking that is we're waiting to see how successful these digital sales are, right? We're going to find out very, very soon. Given that I think, hold on, let me pull this up here with Amazon. So it's The Invisible Man, cinema, The Way Back, Birds of Prey, Sonic is already out, Bad Boys is already out. Yeah, so there's a decent amount here. 1917. Oh no, that's been out already. But yeah, so there's a few here. There's a few here already. So we're waiting to find out what the numbers are. Have people gone in, logged in, purchased these movies? What are the numbers in comparison? What it would be, what the projection was in the box office for tickets?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say, Sam, this was successful. Will this hurt the entertainment industry as a whole?
I don't think. I think initially yes, but overall no. I don't think movies need to be making $1 billion
Right.
to be considered a success. I think movies, if it like, it should be going based off of the normal business formula. If it makes back what it spent plus a little extra, movies a success. Move on to the next one. I think we're gonna get a lot of movies like that, where it's like, say for example, you release Black Widow. Well, however, how much Black Widow would cost to make, I think if they release it and you pay for it, they will make that money back plus more, and that should determine the movie as a success. I don't think it's going to be making $1 billion based with the current climate. I didn't think it was going to make $1 billion before release, but then again, I've been surprised by Marvel movies before. I didn't expect Captain America: The Winter Soldier to be as good as it was. So, and that movie did numbers too. So, I don't know. I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to hurt the company. I think it's just going to be exactly like the comic book industry. I think a lot more people who don't see movies the same day or like early or anything like that, or even bother to go see movies in theaters, are gonna pay to see movies in theater and pay to see movies in their house because one, it's FOMO and you have less reason to miss out because you have the option right there. And two,
Right.
it's at their time. They don't have to go and like get a babysitter and stuff like that to go see a movie. They can put a
Right.
movie on. The kid starts yelling, you pause it, you go take care of the kid, unpause it, go back to the movie. You get it for 48 hours. You can squeeze out some time to watch a 2-hour movie in 48 hours. I think this is just going to be the wave. I think people are eventually just going to be like, when a movie comes out, I want to see it also on VOD within that week, if not the day.
Right. So I got a question for you because I don't know the exact info on this. Do you know for sure that in order to even purchase these movies, you have to have a Prime account? Like you can't purchase it outside of Prime.
I don't know.
Because if that's the case, you're still paying 120 bucks a year for Prime. And on top of that, you have the ability to purchase these $20 rentals.
Okay. Prime, because they want every opportunity to get your money, has given an option where you can subscribe for the month.
Oh, okay.
So you can pay $10 a month and you just pay for your Prime membership that way. So people would probably just, and like Amazon's not like big on like caring about canceling and reactivating canceling. So I guarantee you, people are going to buy the Amazon Pass for $10, buy whatever movie they want to rent, and then put it back.
I mean, hey, look, if you got Disney Plus, right? If you're not one of the lucky ones that had a new data plan from Verizon and got a free subscription for a year, right? You're paying $7 a month for Disney Plus. You were able to watch Onward for free for as many times as you want. That just came out. Great movie, by the way. I almost cried. I almost cried. It it's so sad. It's so sad.
Is it wait? Is it up sad?
It's worse.
It's oh worse. My god, no!
I should have never watched it. I'm telling you, it's that I can't. Sad.
No, I can't.
My heart could not take what happened in that movie.
Small aside, I didn't watch the whole movie Up until later, but I saw the first 15 minutes of Up.
Yeah,
like in a like a Target
they set you up to fail.
They put the movie on like on a Target on like little TVs, and I'm just sitting there like my mom's buying something, and I'm like watching it. And I'm like, this is depressing as fuck.
Yes,
it's like this whole movie. I was just like, this is the most Ups. The first 15 minutes is the saddest shit I've seen in a while. I was like, wow.
Let me tell you, so Onward, much. I literally almost cried, and like Sam, my wife, was sitting there with a box of tissues. Like that's how it was. I don't suggest it for the weak of heart. Let's just say that's that. The thing.
And Upward doesn't look like it's a sad movie. I hate Pixar for doing shit like that.
Yes.
Because when you see the trailers for like Up, you thought it was just like grumpy old men and like an adventure. You didn't think that was like this. They're gonna get you this whole heartbreaking tale beforehand. So and Upward looks like he's just two brothers going on an adventure. So I'm just like, oh, so this is just gonna be like just two.
No, it's sad. It's so sad. It's worse than that. It's not just the adventure. It's like what happens. The reason for the adventure is just so sad. It's so sad. Anyways, okay. I'm not gonna get into spoiler territory. If you guys want to watch it, just bring a box of tissues with you. Just put it right next to you, and then just get ready. Just don't watch it on Father's Day. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. It's that level. It's that level. Yeah. Okay. So. For me, I would like to say Black Widow to get back on topic. Yes. I would like to see that first thing, and then Thor as well. So Marvel movies, I'm always itching to seeing it like right away.
It's also just stay in touch, stay on top of the community stuff because hey, people are gonna be talking about it. For Infinity War, for Endgame and Infinity War, I saw the movie the day of simply because I was just like, I'm gonna get spoiled.
Yeah,
someone's going to spoil it for me. Literally if I don't see it within 24 hours of seeing that movie, the movie being released. So
and we'd like to stay employed too. Like what are media journalists going to do? Entertainment journalists going to do? They can't review something without having to actually go to a theater or go to like a group setting and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So what are we gonna do? Let's just release it VOD, and make us all happy.
It's going to be the way of the future.
Yeah.
The way of the future.
We'll see how it all pans out. And hopefully we'll have more answers for you next time on the next episode of Sam and Ed's Solely Original Geek News Podcast. How you feeling, Sam?
I feel good.
Yeah?
I hope I'm getting myself excited for a VOD that hasn't been confirmed or even remotely acknowledged yet, but I feel good. You
know what? Hope is therapeutic.
Yeah, hope is therapeutic. Hope. Take that as your zen for the day. Hope is therapeutic.
I like that. Slap that bumper sticker someplace. You know what I'm saying? I like that. But thanks for listening all. And we will see you next time. Hopefully it'll be a lot sooner. We're gonna try to do these a lot quicker now that everybody's home and needing something to listen to. Yeah. So we have that. We also have everything else on the Rapture Press umbrella. Is Mike? Are they still doing their thing?
Yes, Mike and Mike go to Mike and Mike go to the movies are still being released by Mike and Mike. Okay. One of our Rapture part of the Rapture Press family. There's also the Complete Works. They have finished doing Nicolas Cage, and now they have moved on.
Never finished. You never finished. You're never finished.
Nicolas Cage is the hardest working person in Hollywood, and you don't at me at that. I think the man's half Jamaican. But the point is, they've moved on from him for now, and the next actor is Jeff Goldblum. So now they're going through this entire collection of movies, and he's done some movies that I even heard of. So go check it out on that side. And if you want to hear my voice on another podcast, don't forget the Review Zoo also comes out bi-weekly, like the TOGNP, Totally Original Geek News Podcast by Sam and Ed's Totally Original Geek News Podcast, and 4 Minutes to Save the World. Again, shameless plug, a new podcast by us. And yeah, that's all I got.
There's another new podcast that's out right now called Reclaim the Planet by our good friend Cheryl. Please check that out as well.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff on the horizon that we're brainstorming on. Thank God for the internet. We can still talk about these things over the airwaves, if you know what I mean.
If I didn't have internet, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would literally
we'd all be doing
outside stabbing people with a spoon. So
yeah, don't do that. Don't stab people with a spoon. That hurts.
Yes, I know, that's the point.
Okay, I guess that's the point. There is no point in the spoon. But anyway,
exactly the point. Anyways,
all right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.